Hey guys, welcome back to the War Off-Road channel. Today it is it's my pleasure actually to introduce you to a man that you've probably seen on a number of our videos, driving a number of different rigs. This is Jarrett, aka Yee Man. He is actually one of the founding members of War Off-Road, one of the originals. And today we got the pleasure of looking at his gorgeous Jeep Cherokee XJ. Jarrett, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Right.
We're on the trail. It's a beautiful day.
We've already got a little bit of wheeling in, and he's actually rescued my TJ. I slid off the trail and he was there. So, Jarrett, you have 17 Jeeps, I think by last count, right? Why an XJ? What drew you to an XJ?
Okay, so my first rig that I built out was a Grand Cherokee, a 2002 WJ platform. And
the V8 model.
yeah, with the 4.7. I had a roughly a 2-inch lift on that, and I was running 31-inch tires. And I found real quick that I wanted something built up a little bit more, and I found that the WJ platform wasn't something I wanted to do that with. So,
was it limited in any way?
You know, there was a few things like the gas tank hung real low on it.
So it gets in the way of the suspension?
Yeah.
Or it's just a visual thing?
Get visual, and it gets in the way of,
okay,
you know, departure angle and what have you.
Yeah.
And it might look a little funny unless you do a, like what they call a tuck, a gas tank tuck.
We won't go there.
Yeah.
So you already had one. You've got a TJ or two, but you wanted a longer version that was something you could build better.
Yeah, I wanted something with 4 doors. And the Cherokee was a natural choice. You know, it's funny because I was looking around 2020. I was looking for a Cherokee, and I found a built one. I don't know if you guys remember that one, that light blue one.
Like $6 grand or something like that, right?
No, it was built, and the guy was asking good money. I can't remember exactly how much, but I want to say it was like 10, 15 grand.
Yeah.
And that went through. The guy was like, he just ghosted me. And
oh yeah, and then you got upset and you started looking.
I got upset, started looking,
and you found this one.
And this
bone
thing
stock,
literally
bone
just
stock, right?
Yeah, out of nowhere, just.
And it was what, $2,000?
Outdoor tax license was $1,300.
Because people really don't understand the value of these things. You could pick them up for $1,300 all day, and this one was basically brand new, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's discovered XJs yet. Okay. Obviously that's a joke. He just got a smoking deal on this thing.
Yeah, I was very fortunate.
Okay, so you actually wheeled it a time or two stock. It had the sagging rear suspension, I remember that. But ultimately, the engine, transmission, cosmetics, it was all very nice.
It had a leaky steering box, but that was about it.
Yeah. So, what was the first thing you did to? Well, you know, actually, I can't. This is a package build. You did everything at the same time, right? How long did it take you to go from stock to what we see here? Doing it yourself, by the way. Jarrett did all the wrenching work. I think it was a little bit of welding you outsourced, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But you did the wrenching work yourself, like the bumper, the suspension. You put the axles in, you cut the hood, you wired up your ditch lights. That's pretty impressive. The guy's not a mechanic. He's not a professional mechanic, but this is a nice product and it works, and it's pretty impressive. Am I right? Did you do that?
Yeah. So I started in, I want to say, October of 2022, and I spent a good portion of 2 years, about
2 years. Doesn't feel like it. And then one day, bam, there it was and ready to go, and pretty flawless, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
It hasn't left me stranded or anything, and it's held together.
Well, let's take a walk around. There's a lot of eye appeal here. Okay, we've got obviously not a stock bumper. Tell us about the winch and the bumper.
So obviously it's a worn winch. Most of
and it's a synthetic line, right?
Yeah, synthetic line. 12,000 pound rating. Most of the aftermarket stuff on here, the steel, is from a company called JCR Off-Road. So the bumpers, the rear bumper, the roof rack, and the sliders are all JCR.
You like JCR?
Yeah.
Good customer service?
I like the style. You know, it's all American source steel and American made, so.
It's got a good classy look too.
Yeah.
It's not over the top, but it's functional. Okay, so JCR, is that bumper a bolt-on, or do you have to hack away at the vehicle to get that to fit up?
It's, for the most part, it's bolt-on.
Okay.
It didn't take too much work to get it in, so.
Okay. So JCR components. Now, have you hacked up the body at all? Because a lot of times you see flares, fenders have to be trimmed, right?
Yeah, so I'm running bushwhacker flares, and I had to cut and trim the fenders, both front and rear, to make them work. And I also massaged and cut some of the the pinch welds, and then I use seam sealer to make it look nice and finished. So it gives. I had to do that to make clearance for the tires.
Right. And what size are these tires?
So these are Mickey Thompson Baja Boss mud-terrains, and they're 35-inch tires.
Oh.
And they're wrapped around race line bead locks.
And those are genuine bead locks. Those are not.
They're genuine bead locks, yeah. So they're 15-inch bead locks.
What's the point of a bead lock, in case anybody watching doesn't understand?
So when you go off-roading, it's good to air down. It helps make the ride smooth, but it also gives you more traction, especially on rocks or in snow and mud. And when you air down, I'd say when you air down anything below 15 pounds, you can sometimes lose a bead. And the bead lock, there's a ring, as you can see, that clamps one side of the bead of the tire to the wheel. So it gives you better clamping force and the likelihood of you losing a bead, because the only way you'd lose it is on the inside. The only way you'd lose it is if you were doing some crazy stuff. But
now the other cool thing about a bead lock is you were able to install these tires yourself at home, right?
Totally did it by myself. Did it in my living room.
No equipment needed.
No
That's
equipment.
Cool.
And what's cool is these tires. I didn't even have to balance the tires. I just put them on.
Yeah, it just rides like crap. But
it's not.
kidding.
I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but I was pretty pleased with how well balanced they are without me having to balance them.
That's a credit to the Mickey Thompson tires.
Yeah,
I think.
totally.
That's a big tire. You'd expect it would take a lot of weight. You took no weight. You just put them on.
I just put them on.
You just went for it. Okay.
Yep.
So what about these sliders? Are they just a bolt-on? And what brand are they?
So those are also JCR sliders. They bolt right in. I had to drill some holes, and you typically do it on a frame without stiffeners. I have stiffeners front and rear, and the added thickness of the steel allowed me to tap and then drill, and actually they're bolted on and they're pretty solid.
We'll come back to those stiffeners because I think we want to get into that a little bit, but there's more to see around the back.
Yeah.
Right? So you've done a lot to this Jeep. You've got a lot of what looks like really well thought out accessories, a lot of purposeful things. I don't see a lot of superfluous, showy junk. I see impressive looking stuff that looks like it serves a purpose. So spare tire normally would be inside.
Yeah.
This one's too big, obviously.
Yeah.
You've got a spare tire carry. JCR as well, I see.
Yeah.
Can you show us how that works?
Yeah, so there is two swing outs. It just opens up on this side here first.
Okay, nice.
And then on this side.
And now you have easy access.
Yeah.
I love the license plate.
I got little.
It's an inside joke there.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got a little prep station there.
Yeah.
Very cool. What do you have in the back? Is there anything to show us there? Or is it all stock? Okay, now this looks like something I haven't seen. What do we got here?
That's relatively new. That's also from JCR. So I've got the mole panels that they have on their site.
I thought it was cage. Okay, this makes way more sense. I'm sorry, people. I don't know what I was thinking.
So this rack just bolts onto the mole panels there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then we've got an air compressor there with a squid system to simultaneously air back up all your tires. Is that what that's for?
Yeah, the Morphlate hooks up to this, and then I'll air up to all four tires at the same time.
What's the Morphlate?
So this is an inflation deflation system.
Oh, that's the squid part.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is just a single line. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, close her down. This is nice. Got your paper towels up there.
Yeah.
It's nice and clean in there.
Thank you.
Is there anything cosmetically here that you still want to do, or anything you regret doing?
Anything I regret?
While you're thinking about that, I'd just like to point out we have a backup camera here. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, it does the backup camera.
XJ never came with a backup camera.
No.
So do you have a standalone, or is it integrated in radio? Mirror?
So there's this company called Wolfbox, and it's my rear view mirror. So obviously I can't see out the rear anymore.
Oh right, you're completely obstructed.
Yeah, so the rear view is now basically a camera system. It's a screen.
So this is not necessarily a backup camera. This is actually your rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's what's cool is it actually records.
Oh.
So if someone was to hit me in the rear,
yeah,
then I have footage of it.
Well, that's handy. Or if somebody comes, yeah, very cool. All right, now we've got some rocker protection here. What was the purpose of that? Is that just continuity for aesthetics?
So it's functional, but it's more so on the stock Cherokees. the bumpers come and wrap around here, and there's a cladding that goes right here.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had to remove it,
Yeah.
and when you do so, there's some riveted holes
Got
that
it.
I had to cover. So I just went with JCR's cover plating
That's
that
nice.
goes right there.
So-
To finish it.
Because it goes with the bumper.
Yeah.
In place of the cladding.
It would
that
look
would've been
kinda
gone.
weird without
Yeah,
it.
it'd be a totally disjointed look.
Yeah.
Are these steel reinforced?
No, they're just literally screwed on.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool. Yeah, nice badges. And then up here we have lighting, right?
Yeah.
So these flick on at night when you're setting up. It does a nice job flooding the area. Or would you use these for wheeling? Would you expect?
It's more for like when we're at base camp.
Setting
I can light
up,
up the
yeah.
camp area.
Okay. You got anything to show us inside here?
Yeah, if you want to look over here or over on the driver's side, I got an 8-panel Switch Pro set up, so that controls all of my lights. My ARB compressor switches are in this center right there. So the middle buttons for the ARB compressor, rear lockers on the right, and then the front lockers on the left.
I can't get over how clean this interior is. It's a credit to your taste, man. You've kept it basically stock in nice shape and had just nice, clean additions.
Yeah, when I bought it, the headliner was sagging, so I
yeah.
went and when I took it into the upholstery shop, I just had them do it black, so it
Brand
kind
new
of
headliner.
looks nice. And
then you've got gauge pods on your A-pillar. What are we looking at there?
yeah, so the gauge pod on the top is the readout for the water temp,
Okay.
and the one on the bottom is for the transmission temperature.
And then
Just so I keep an
so
eye on
you
it.
have an auxiliary water temp even though you have one on your dash, right?
Yeah, so I'm sure most people know that the gauges are kind of dummy gauges. They don't really, the threshold is really small, so it doesn't really give you a true readout of the temperature.
You're not seeing accurate real time.
Yeah, I wanted, something a little bit more accurate.
All right. Under the hood, all stock 4-liter, right?
All stock. I'm running a Thor off-road intake.
Okay.
So I got a ram assist, so I had to make room.
Ram.
I had to move the air box to make room for the reservoir for the power.
So that was
steering.
mandatory in the conversion.
Yeah, for me at least, for my
Well,
application.
Is a good segue. So let's start talking about that. So you say ram assist, you mean you're no longer running the factory? Are you still running the factory steering box, right?
No, a PSC steering box.
Okay, so it's a manual steering box, and
Yes.
the entire assist is now through hydraulic rams on the linkage itself.
Yep.
And is it twin rams? Or is it single ram?
Single
Okay.
ram.
And how's the pressure generator for that ram?
It's tapped into the power steering gearbox.
Okay, so it still runs the existing power steering.
Yeah, so there's a gearbox actually assisting with the moving of the
Okay,
tires.
so you still have a powered gearbox.
Yep.
And then you have an additional line that now has an auxiliary ram.
Yeah.
They're working together.
Yep.
Okay, how's that work?
Works great.
You don't feel anything with these tires? I mean, it's pretty...
No, the steering's very smooth and easy, and
Okay.
it actually acts as a shock absorber as well, so I'm not getting...
Like a dampener.
yeah, it's not.
Very
I'm not getting
nice.
a bunch of death wobble. and
Very
all that.
nice. Okay, so how many inches of lift have we got here? Would you say roughly?
So originally I went with 4.5 in the front, and then a 3.5-inch leaf pack in the rear. What I found was that it was sagging a little bit, so I added a support spring in the rear to help with the added weight. Because with all that weight in the back, what I found was I was sagging.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm running roughly 4.5 to 5 inches of lift.
That's it?
Yeah.
Seems like a lot more.
So that's it.
And then you get a few inches out of the tires, of course.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what lift kit did you use? I know you've modified it, you've adapted it, you've added the spring lifter, but was there a specific company for a lift kit that you bought?
Yeah. So I wanted to run a long arm setup.
Okay. So we are long armed,
It is long arm.
front and back.
Yeah.
And
No, just in the front.
Oh, just the front. Okay.
Because it's leaf sprung in the rear.
Oh, that's right. But I'll pause you there. That long arm kit also incorporated frame stiffeners that were welded in. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the kit, the long arm kit doesn't require frame stiffeners, but if you know Cherokees, the unibody is a little bit flimsy and weak. So once you get to a larger tire size and with all the weight I'm hauling, frame stiffeners was a necessity. So I went to a shop based out of Loomis called Rock and Road Performance, and they put in the stiffeners in the front, in the middle, and in the rear as well. So it really helped with the rigidity of the rig to keep it pretty. But before I did the lift, even with the stock tires, I found that when I was getting in off-camera situations and I would get out, it would be hard to open the doors.
Oh, the actual structure of the body was
Jeep
tweaking.
was flexing so much that it would be...
So it was mandatory. It wasn't,
it was mandatory.
It's not just for show.
Yeah.
So your axles, tell me about your axles. They are not stock axles.
No.
What did this have originally?
So I had originally the low pinion Dana 30 in the front, and then I had the Chrysler 8 1/4 in the rear. You had options.
Those are decent axles, though.
It's a good combination.
8 1/4. Can I get your axle?
They're on hold for a good friend of mine.
How long? Who is this punk?
He's been kicking the can down the road.
Sounds like he doesn't want your axles
like
to me,
3
bro. Sounds like he doesn't want your axles. What, has he got like some beater XJ or something he wants to put your good axles in? Okay, so I'm sorry, back to the axles. So you had good axles. You wanted better axles.
Yeah.
You wanted to build the rig you were not able to buy because that guy burned you.
Yes.
And you built it using those axles. Tell us about those axles.
So they are, there's a company in Huntington Beach, California called Dynatrack.
Now, Huntington Beach, California, that's in California, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I had them built me a high pinion Dana 44 up front, and it's a high pinion Dana 16 in the rear. And
they custom built to your spec.
They built them for my specific needs.
Did you get to spec out the gear ratio?
I did. So I'm running 488 gears.
Wow. Okay.
Based on my calculations, that would give me the factory RPM range for my shifts and all that, you know, going to a 35
with these tires.
Yeah, with this tire.
And did it.
Yeah.
Cruising down the road, you'd never know it's modified. That's pretty awesome.
Great, yeah.
We're on. So then, Jarrett, you've got lockers. You spec'd out lockers as well. What kind of lockers are you running?
So I'm running ARB air lockers.
Okay. Air lockers. So you have a pump. Is it under the hood?
No, we were looking at it in the rear.
That same pump that airs up the tires also does your lockers?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's... Don't call me good sir ever again. Edit that out. My son might watch this. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that was the same thing. Okay, so shocks. Tell me about these shocks. I see Fox is on them.
Yeah, so I'm running Fox 2.0 shocks. I think it's their Adventure series, front and rear, and they do great. You know, in my experience with Fox shocks, they can be really stiff, but if you are carrying a lot of weight, they soften up. So
very cool. And I can see the requisite JKS sway bar disconnects. That's kind of a staple of War Off-Road. I've got them. Josh has them.
Yeah.
We love them. Right?
Yeah, they work great.
Yeah, they do work great. JKS, if you're watching.
Shout out.
Yeah. Jarrett, what else you want to talk about on this thing? I know you put an enormous amount of effort. I'm sure you're pretty proud of this because you should be. Everybody that sees it agrees. It's not only a beautiful Jeep, it's a very functional Jeep too. This looks like a glamour Jeep. I mean, it has all the hallmarks of a glamour Jeep when you see it in a parking lot, not wheeling. But then you see it out here and it's a very capable Jeep.
Yeah.
You're proud of this?
I am proud of it. Yeah. Biggest project I've taken up this far.
Yeah. For a guy that's not a professional mechanic or not even an amateur mechanic, for just a guy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive undertaking.
For an idiot.
You're just a guy. Right? Dude.
Just a little guy.
Now, every project, I do projects, nothing of this scale, right? I can't compete with this. Just go with me, okay?
Okay.
Every time I do a project, there's always a thing that I had to compromise on in a way that made the project just not perfect. But it's either make the compromise or don't do the project at all, right? We make compromises. Talk to me about a compromise or two that you've made that you're living with that maybe you're not stoked about. Because the real world is, when you start modifying these things, I think we all know we encounter weird problems or we encounter weird side effects that we couldn't have predicted. What are we living with on this thing? There's got to be something.
Well, I'll be honest, there's not a whole lot.
Oh, now you're going to be honest.
So I think...
You've been lying to me the whole time?
I think the biggest cost is the literal money cost.
Which we're not going to get into that, right?
No, we're not. But I'm sure the people watching the video are going to say, this guy spent a ton of money on his Jeep, and I can't argue that.
When you're as rich as Batman, you can do that, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, so the axles alone, I mean, just to throw a number, 10 grand, right?
Roughly, yeah.
And that's just the parts, right? Yeah. That's amazing though. And but if you were to think about, if you were to buy something this capable, new,
Yeah.
$50,000, $60,000, $70,000 is what it would cost you to purchase
I imagine
something in
it'd be
this shape. But you would lose that cachet of A, I built it, and B, it's a classic Jeep XJ.
Yeah.
Which they're legendary for a reason. There's stuff here that's not.
Yeah.
normal
So
XJ.
this is the power steering reservoir. This is where the gear or the airbox would have been. Obviously, I routed the airbox into the cowl, so it's pulling air. The only spots where it's open is right here, so at cold startup it's pretty loud, and it is loud while you're driving. And I replaced the motor mounts. I got Brown Dog motor mounts. They're a little bit more stiff, so it's a bit more shaky.
Get a little vibration out of that.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Why did you replace those? Are they poly mounts? Is that what that is?
No, it's like a really hard rubber that they have. They do offer poly bushings, but I went with the rubber bushing. And then the Switch Pro's
don't look
setup is all right there. And then this is a breather for the power steering.
Very cool. And that's running a stock pump. I see a PSC pulley here.
This is a PSC pump.
Okay, so the kit, the Ramesses kit.
The kit was complete.
Did the kit come with a new box too?
A new
Steering box.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
it's a big bore steering box.
So, Jarrett, talk to me about the hood here. This is not a standard XJ hood. What's going on with this?
Yeah, so XJs, the 4.0 is crammed into this engine bay. The Cherokee wasn't originally designed for the 4-liter, so the 4-liter was prone to what's referred to as heat soak. So I added these vents in here to help dissipate some of the heat. And when I moved the air intake into the cowl, I decided to block this off so I wasn't sucking in hot air into my intake, which is pulling air right here, because the exhaust is over here. So that's why I blocked this side off and left that side off.
Because I was thinking, I would think you would want it to be ventilated here, but then that would feed hot air right into your intake.
Yeah.
And superheat the engine possibly.
Yeah.
Interesting side effect.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you
that's why I
blocked
did that. Yeah.
Did you experience any problems that made you do that, or was it just you're thinking ahead?
No, I was just thinking ahead.
Okay, interesting. That's a cool thought. Have you experienced any heat soak?
I have not.
Okay.
I have my fuel rail wrapped and all this stuff here helping with that.
All the factory stuff is the shields are still in place.
Well, this is from a company, DEI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you can actually purchase that.
This is all aftermarket.
See that now? Yeah, very
and
cool.
The injectors are wrapped.
Wait, so are you telling me these shields are aftermarket too?
Yeah. So from the factory,
there's something in here.
Yeah, from the factory, you got some fabric there, but by 20 years, it's gone. So I put in that company's DEI, makes a bunch of stuff for.
That's cool. Something to think about there, Josh.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely helps.
Well, hey, thanks for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed the walk around of Jarrett's Jeep. Jarrett, it was a pleasure to go over with a fine-tooth comb this Jeep. Thank you for showing us his Jeep. And if you have any questions about anything he's done, feel free to reach out in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.